poor women.
It's not poor women. It's rich women who know what's best for everybody else. Some of whom Miles encountered on the square this last weekend. We'll be back after this break. You guys are listening to the Free People Show at freepeopleshow.com, as well as watching on Facebook. One more shout out to the Northern Wisconsin Militia for listening and watching tonight. We appreciate you. We'll be back in about 2 minutes. Their last segment, where we're going to wrap all this up in a pretty little bow, one way or another.
Pretty pink bow.
Pretty pink bow.
Okay.
6%? 7%? That's a lot of money. I might as well just do it myself. Well, that might be true, if a lot of that money you're paying a real estate broker is going toward outdated methods, unnecessary fancy offices, and overpaying executives for a lifetime of service. But you don't need to go that route. Silver Compass Realty is a full-service real estate brokerage serving all of South Central Wisconsin, and the commission is negotiable. Silver Compass will explain exactly what they're going to do to help you buy or sell a home, how that will help you reach your goals, and stand right beside you every step of the way. They want to be your broker, your expert, even when you're not in the middle of a transaction. Silver Compass Realty, helping you find your way home. Contact them today at silvercompassrealty.com or call 608-361-8608. Silver Compass Realty, helping you find your way home.
Would you like to experience being one of the free people who produce their own meat and eggs? PurelyPoultry.com has both the chickens and supplies you need to raise your own poultry.
Would you like pets who produce eggs you can barter with? Your own source of clean meat?
A swan on your pond to make your home strikingly beautiful?
How about some pheasants and quail roaming in your woods for enjoyment? If so, check out PurelyPoultry.com.
Burger House 41 is open at 1860 West Mason in Green Bay. You're invited to indulge in one of life's simplest pleasures, a great burger. We're grilling up 15 fresh signature burgers and have over 30 craft beers for the perfect pairing. Experience Wisconsin's best flavors, including white cheddar cheese curds, a variety of specialty sandwiches, milkshakes, and gourmet frozen custard. Burger House 41 at 1860 West Mason is open at 11 a.m. daily. Taste Wisconsin. Taste amazing.
We're back with the final segment of the Free People Show, episode 20. Listen to us at freepeopleshow.com, courtesy of Spreaker. Watch us on Facebook, as many of you do. We appreciate it very much. And don't forget to patronize our sponsors. Silver Compass Realty, which will be having new offices at 640 University sometime soon. And Burger House 41 in lovely Green Bay, as well as Purely Poultry, which you can find at purelypoultry.com. So, Rumplemints was Hitler's favorite drink.
No,
is that where we're at?
We don't know that. It's terrible. Someone's gonna take a segment of that and
I'm willing to bet it was popular among the Nazi hierarchy. No.
If you watch,
It wasn't Hitler. It might have been Himmler.
If you watch Top Gear, they assert that the Volkswagen Beetle was Hitler's thing, and anything.
It was.
Well, yeah,
that's
what
what
Volkswagen,
Let
Mercedes.
me finish. But that anything that's descended from that is also tainted with the Hitler whatever. So anything, like pretty much all of Volkswagen is.
You got to admit that's the greatest marketing achievement in the history of mankind, to take the Hitler wagon and turn it into the hippie wagon.
It's shocking.
That's pretty amazing.
And they're still around, and I'm driving a Volkswagen right now. It's a Jetta, not a Beetle, but just don't call me supporting Adolf Hitler, who's been dead for these 72 years. Or so we think.
Yeah, I mean, there's the theory he went to Argentina, but okay.
So back to progressives. And how that's affected.
Regressives.
One of the things that you were talking about, Patrick, that made me think that maybe things are too far. Are they too far gone? So many people have become accustomed. And I just read a piece by Godfrey Bloom. And if you guys don't know who Godfrey Bloom is, he's a member of Parliament in England. And he was also the ambassador to the EU. And he is wonderful. He's not perfectly libertarian, but he is fantastic, grouchy, old English guy who is an expert on all the evils of international and federal banking. Quite a joy. And he just wrote a piece recently about how the demographics have changed so much that it's really hard to appeal to people on the basis of having responsibility, because times have changed. The demographics have changed. So when the Republicans are trying to run for office, even if there are individual Republicans, and I'm conceding that there might be, that really still believe in individual liberty and natural rights and these sorts of things, what are they going to do? What are they going to say to their constituents who that doesn't resonate with? In order to get elected, they have to make different promises in order to get elected. They're automatically co-opted before they even set foot in their on Capitol Hill.
I think, if we're still on the healthcare thing, I think we're in danger of getting pretty close to having a single-payer system in this country. And I think the way that happens is that this attempt by the Republicans to try to fine-tune Obamacare and call it their own is going to blow up in their face. They lose the midterm elections. They lose control of at least one house of Congress. And it doesn't matter whether Trump loses in 2020 or not, because he'll sell out the Republicans in 3 seconds flat if it's in his best interest to do so. I think what you're going to see is a revived Democratic Party, if they don't shoot themselves in the face first.
They will.
If they are successful in getting back into power, they'll say, look, we tried it, the insurance company way, and we tried it with the market, the free. No, that's what they'll say. We tried to use the free market, but the free market and the insurance companies failed us. So we just have to go with the single payer. That's the only thing that's going to work now. And I think the American people go, okay, but free health care? Yay!
Of course they will. Of course they will.
Sign up
Anything
for
free,
droves.
they don't make the connection between tax on productive activities and where that money comes from and what it costs to tax that, and where the money comes from. I mean, we're lucky there's anybody in the federal government at all that makes that connetion. It's basically just a big sucking of wealth out of the economy, splashing it all over the United States based on who you want to impress. And there's the budget's meaningless, the national debt's meaningless. Numbers like GDP are meaningless. People don't know. We're right now our debt is 105% of GDP, something like that. Does that mean anything to anybody? Should people be alarmed? They're not.
They don't care.
They don't know.
Care, Phil. Try having that conversation with your average voter.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably wasting time on this show talking about it.
Bullcrap works better for Republicans than it does for Democrats. For Republicans can bullcrap and it equals votes. Democrats, bullcrap doesn't equal votes necessarily. The Democrats could win all sorts of stuff in 2018 or 2020 if they just ran an honest, anti-war candidate.
But they're not anti-war.
But they'll never run
the party's
that
not
guy.
anti-war. There's
Dennis
not money
Kucinich will never be the candidate of the Democrat.
And
Bernie
they took it
Sanders,
from Bernie
who
Sanders.
wasn't even anti-war.
No,
he supported the war in Afghanistan. He supported drones. He didn't say a word about the fact that we've been sending troops back to Iraq.
They're going to come out against the war on drugs either?
Heavens
that
no.
too.
That's not
Because
happen.
there's no money in it. And it takes money to win races. So by the very construction of our political system, you will only have people in office who get there by collecting money from other people.
And we talk a lot about
and whatever that market may be.
We talk a lot about the identity politics of the Democratic Party. In 2014, they ran on this whole thing about the war on women. And yes, there is a series of legislative attacks against women, and I could go on and on about that. But the war on women of 2014 was mostly specifically about white middle-class women, and people of color, immigrants, everybody else did not feel like they were in that tent, so they didn't have anything to do with it. They didn't get involved.
Which is why Hillary Clinton couldn't make Obama folks vote
I'm saying
for
specifically
it, right?
2014.
Yeah.
That's why they lost in 2014. And then in 2016, they tried for a moment to try to bring in the Black Lives Matter, and that didn't win them the election. So now you look at the protests of 2017, and it's already back to this whole pink pussy hat, white middle-class women. We are...
The only candidate that spoke convincingly in 2016 to Black Lives Matter was Gary Johnson. He had that one moment, one of my favorite moment for him of the campaign, where he said, "You know what? I buy it. I'm all in on the idea behind Black Lives Matter. No qualifications. That's it."
Yeah, he wasn't angling. He wasn't trying to get the police vote. He wasn't. He was just
because
empathetic.
Gary Johnson understood that it was about the war on drugs. It was about over policing. It was about over incarceration. And the Republican and the Democratic Party, despite all of the Democratic Party who bends over backwards trying to be the party of African Americans, has done nothing to end the war on drugs, to end over incarceration.
And that's one of the beautiful things
about
all the information that's available now through Facebook, through social media, through websites, is that people can now really clearly see through all the BS that's being thrown at them to just pander for their votes. People can see through it. Now they may still, and sadly do vote for the lesser of two evils because they think third-party candidates, specifically libertarians, can't win. That's something that, as libertarians, we all need to work on. But I don't think very many people were happy about voting for their Democrat and Republican choices. People were more inspired by the other candidate.
But Michael Moore's going to make another documentary, and that's going to stop the president.
My, oh my. There's no stopping the president. There's no stopping it.
And you know what? I realized...
Go ahead.
I realized just a moment ago, they probably won't, even if they got back the House and Senate in 2018, they probably won't impeach him.
Nothing will change.
No, but they probably wouldn't impeach him because they probably realize, but we want to win the presidency in 2020, so we're going to let him continue on. Sorry, we're going to let him continue on. Just what
because it'll be easier to defeat.
He might be. You know what? If they
he might win in 2020.
He will win in 2020.
Here's a startling idea. If they take both houses of Congress in 2018 or 2020, it doesn't matter whether Trump wins or loses. Trump will be he's effectively a Democratic president.
He'll be just as good a Democrat president as he is a Republican president.
He can declare, if he wants to, he can suspend elections and declare a third term, thanks to George W. Bush and Barack Obama, who both passed bills saying that he has the power to do that.
I think that would be the greatest thing that could ever happen to the Republican Party, is for them to lose control of Congress in 2018, and then Donald Trump, the day after the election, bring the new Democratic leaders of Congress to the White House and go, my new pals, guess what we're going to do for the next 2 years? We're going to win.
And we're
going to win so much you're going to be sick of it.
Just as many campaign contributions and cocktail parties and fancy vacations with the Democrats he has with Republicans.
But wait, what about us? But
he's a man for all people,
Donald
Donald Trump. A man
right?
for all people. Yeah. Republicans, Democrats, he's there for everybody.
And I'm not going to say words specifically, but all the people on the left of the political spectrum lighting crap on fire and committing violence, they're going to help Trump get reelected.
Oh, sure.
They are the useful idiots to the very people that they are protesting.
That's perfect for a law and order candidate. Perfect for a guy that supports
He's going to be able to show guys in ski masks lighting crap on fire. He's going to be able to have scary videos, and he's going to be able to get people to vote for him for re-election.
Just think of those campaign videos they can run in 2018, 2020.
We haven't even seen the crap that these idiots.
Black mask anarchists hurling firebombs.
Anarchists!
They're not anarchists. They're not anarchists. They're communists.
They're terrible.
No, they're communists. They're not anarchists.
Criminals.
They're communists. They're not anarchists.
They're idiots. They're not anarchists.
They're not anarchists.
They're all about 112 pounds dripping wet. So.
And they're all for government. They're not anarchists.
It's pretty darn sad. So here's where we're at. Patrick's got a proposal. We got about 30 seconds left. What are we going to talk about the humanities in the university system? You got about a minute.
I'm beginning to question why taxpayers should be supporting all of these humanities professionals at our public universities that are not only just wasting money on stuff that nobody cares about, but they're actively undermining the civic values of this country. They're undermining the basic ideas that this country's founded on. They're undermining democracy. They're dividing people among. They're actively a toxic force in our society. Why are we paying their salaries with taxpayer money?
Agreed. That'll be our next show topic. Thanks to everyone who's watching. Thanks to everyone who listened. Thanks to my co-hosts, Patrick Barrett and Miles Kristen. Thanks to all the folks I named at the beginning of the episode. We really appreciate you listening. One last shout out to the Northern Wisconsin Militia, if you're still on with us. Hope Samuel feels better and does well as an AP test tomorrow. Congratulations to Ron DePau, new father and our business manager. We'll be back maybe on Thursday, maybe next Tuesday. I'm not sure yet, but we'll let you know via our social media. Thanks very much for listening. You're listening to The Free People Show at freepeopleshow.com. See you next time.